Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory to H.O.B. Hashem Yahushai, double honors to the apostles of great milestone and Ruben. Peace and blessing to the sincere can push it with sincerity and in all truth. Alright, dear brother Howard here once again, and I want to do a video, a lesson, a matter of fact. And this lesson is based on affliction, right? Affliction, right? Because in this truth, in this walk of life, you get a lot of affliction. Alright, a lot of chastisement from the Abba Hashem Yashai, and it have a old saying, God favorite have a hard time, which is, something the Israelite community, the nation of Israel could relate to, because especially when you come into this truth, into this walk, you will get afflicted in so many different ways. You will get tempted in so many different ways, and sometimes you will lose, but it's not about just losing, because losing is not really and truly the end all, right? But it's getting back up, right? Because a man of the Lord, he will lose, right? He will lose, but he will dust off his shoulders and get back up, So the first scripture I want to begin with is um in the Apocrypha. I think there's Sirach 2. Sirach 2 in the NRSV version. It says, "My child, when you come to serve Yahweh, prepare yourself for testing." Right? I will stop right there. It says, "Prepare yourself for testing me." And the book of the book of James, hey, James, tonight James 2, right? Let's see where just bear with me for a second here. I can't remember exactly. James 2, James 1, right? Everything counted all joy. Everything. Right, I'll read from James 2, James 1 and 1. It says, "James, a servant of Yahweh, of Yahweh Shai Yamashiach, of the 12 tribes which is scattered abroad, greetings. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptation," right? Right? "Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience." Right? So the temptation that we're going through and the affliction that we're going through, once we conquer it, sometimes, as I say, go feel, because stressing on that word feel, or stressing on that word what did I say before, lose? You might lose some. Stressing on that, because it is, that is reality. Reality is you will lose, but that is not the end all, right? It's bouncing back, knowing that you went off, knowing that you fucked up, and dusting off yourself and keep on pushing, not making the same mistake again. You know what I mean? Hey, we all, but I speaking to my own hurt, and I know I'm not the only one. Sometimes you make mistakes more than once. And you're like, yeah, I had to go back to the Lord, yeah, bash him, I had to go back and ask the Lord for forgiveness again for this shit, right? It's like but hey, scripture say, A just man fall it 7 times, boy. You know? Proverbs 24:16, a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. Into that word mischief, right? To the word mischief, it says bad or evil, adversity, affliction, bad calamity, distress, evil, um, favored, favoredness, man thing, grief, great grief, harm, heavy hurt, ill, right? That what the word mischief goes back to. Ra, right? It means grief, hurt, right? But the just man, you go and fall and get back up. You understand? The just man will and fall and get back up 7 times. 7 times 7. So don't get it twisted that don't get it twisted. That is my yeah, don't feel you're supposed to you go off once and that is it. Nah. In this walk of life you're gonna go off more than once. You will go off. And I just bring in the reality. Some brothers gonna sugarcoat it and tell you, nah, you think you will go off. But we living in a imperfect body. Apostle Paul in the book of Romans chapter, I want to believe it's Romans chapter 7 or Romans chapter 8, one of the two, and he say, "Oh wretched man that I am." You understand? The Apostle Paul said it. You will go off, but that is not the end. The end is when you give up. The end is when you stop calling on Yahweh Shem Yashai for help. Help me, Lord Yahweh Shem Yashai. When you stop praying, help me, Lord, to overcome this lust, to overcome this temptation that I'm going to overcome wherever it may be. Right? The Lord hearing your prayer, and the Lord will send situations your way, and that is the test. Right? So going back to it, it says, prepare yourself for testing. Set your heart aright and be steadfast, and do not be impetuous in time of calamity. Right? Let me look up that word impetuous. I want to make this video too long. Let's see, impetuous. Tous. 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 Alright? Hot-headed, impulsive, madcap, tearaway, character by undue haste and lack of thought or deliberation. Right? So don't be impetuous when you see the Lord. Flicking you. Alright, hopefully this video coming out good. Yes, and I'll breeze it. Right? Rush with force and violence. Right? Verse 4 it says, accept whatever befall you, and in times of humiliation be patient. You know it a lot of times you will be humiliated. You might be humiliated on a job, you might be humiliated around certain set of people, you might be humiliated on social media, you might be humiliated around your peers, you might be humiliated in whatever way, right? But that is all trying, the Lord trying you, the Lord's, grooming you. He making your back hard. You see, he making your back hard. For goal is test. Like be patient. For goal is tested in a fire, and those found acceptable in the furnace of humiliation. Trust in him, and he will help you make your ways straight, and hope in him. You who fear Yahweh, wait for his mercy. Do not stray, or else you will fall. So, brethren, don't stray from Yahweh Hashem Yashai. The key thing, regardless of what anybody say, no man could save you. Yahweh Hashem Yashai could save you. Call on him, believe in him, believe in Yahweh, believe in his son, believe in his words, right? Believe in the prophets that he sent to teach us this word, all right? Yeah, and believe in yourself, right? Believe that you can do it, you know? Believe that you can endure in these harsh times that come in, because it wouldn't be us alone, it would be us and our family. So we're working for the salvation for not only us, but our children, you know, our loved ones. So with that, I give all praises and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yashai. Hopefully this video is edifying. Shalom to the Lords. Hopefully like.